Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 healthy fall meal ideas. These would all be really great, wholesome, nourishing, cozy meals to feed yourself or your family for dinner. I absolutely love to cook. I love to make, nourishing meals with real whole foods for my family, but I am also like a tired mom, you guys. Like at the end of the day, I love to cook. I love to be in the kitchen. I love the smells. I love to have music playing. I love the whole thing. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, I am tired and I don't wanna do it. Once I get going, I'm like, I'm feeling it. I'm usually pretty happy about that decision, but I'm not gonna lie, it is hard. So I am all about having meals planned, ready to go, that take very minimal thought. I have the ingredients, I do all my shopping once a week and everything is ready, so I can just literally walk to the kitchen. I already know what I'm making, I know what I need, I just grab it and I get started. So all 3 of these meals are just really cozy, warm, perfect for this time of year when you're just craving kind of more of that comfort food, hot meal. It's getting chillier. They're all made with real ingredients and they're pretty easy to make. Now, I'm not talking about throw, a box of mac and cheese on the stove easy, but they're also not, very difficult. They don't use tons of ingredients, at least in my opinion. And they'll come together pretty easily while still being, essentially from scratch, real food-based healthy meals. I'm going to share with you guys how to make my mom's pasta fagioli soup. It is one of my favorites from growing up. So first I'm just going to add a bunch of water to a pot and add some salt and get that boiling for our pasta. And then in our other pot, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, and then we're going to be sauteing up fresh spinach. So I ended up using this whole 9-ounce bag of spinach. And once we have our water boiling, you're going to go ahead and add this ditalini pasta. And it's like short little logs. They're so good. It's perfect for the soup. And to our spinach, I'm going to add a few cloves of garlic and just get that sauteing until the spinach is completely cooked down. And then to the spinach, we're going to add 1 whole jar. This is 28 ounces of marinara sauce. And then I'm also going to add 4 cups of chicken broth to it. And then once our pasta is all done cooking, you can go ahead and drain off all the excess water. And then we're going to add 2 cups of beans to our spinach mixture, 3/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, and then you're just going to mix all of that goodness together. And then we're just going to let that simmer for at least 20 minutes. Once it is all done simmering, you can go ahead and add in the pasta. This will soak up a lot of the liquid, so you can just technically add it in as you go, as you're eating the soup. Because if you're going to eat it for leftovers, it's going to soak up a lot of the liquid, but I just throw it all in. You can also add less pasta too, it's totally up to you. And then just go ahead and serve it in bowls. It is warm, it is comforting, it's filling, and it just personally reminds me of growing up. The next recipe is my zesty corn chili. That is a new favorite in our house. So first I'm going to start by dicing up 2 large peppers, and then 1 large onion will work. These were all grown in my garden and they were kind of small, so I just chopped up a bunch. And then I'm going to add some avocado oil to a nice hot Dutch oven and put all of the onions and peppers in there so they can start sauteing. And after they cook for a couple minutes, I go ahead and I throw in 1 pound of ground beef. We get ours from a local farmer where all of their cows are raised on pasture. It's definitely a much healthier, more nutrient-dense option if that is available to you. And then you're just going to add some salt and pepper, just a little bit, to the beef to season it. And then I'm adding in diced tomatoes. This is an 18-ounce jar. And then I'm adding in an entire jar of tomato paste, and this is a 7-ounce jar. Then I'm adding in a whole bag of frozen corn. And we're just going to start mixing that all together.
And then I'm actually adding in taco seasoning, which is kind of random, but it's so good in this chili. And I specifically really like this one from Thrive Market. I've tried others and I just love that this one, I just love the flavor and I love that it's organic. And then I'm adding in 1 cup of water, and then you're going to let that simmer for at least 20 minutes. And this is how it turns out. It is so flavorful. You're basically just kind of sub the beans for corn, which was just, I didn't have beans one night, so we just did corn instead. And we all really, really liked it instead. So you can top it with shredded cheese, sour cream, jalapenos, tortilla chips, or even corn chips. So many, ways you can't really go wrong. Also, avocado would be good. It is very filling. It's so flavorful, and it's just a little bit different than your average chili if you just want to switch it up, but you love just the ease and, tastiness of chili. Next up is this sausage, potato, and kale soup that is so yummy. First, we're going to start with just adding a little bit of avocado oil to a skillet, and we're going to start cooking our sausage. You can obviously buy ground sausage, but I had links, so I just tore off the casing and then threw them in the skillet, and then using a spatula, I just started to really break them up and get those browning. And while that's cooking, I started chopping up the vegetables. So we're technically making our soup base, aka a mirepoix, if you want to be fancy with it. And that is basically carrots, celery, and onion all diced up. So I did 3 large carrots, I did 3 stalks of celery, and then I did 1 large onion. And you just want to dice them up until they're fairly equal in size. I'm definitely not perfect about it, but once everything's diced, you can grab 2 tablespoons of butter, throw them in a nice hot pot or Dutch oven, and then get all of those veggies sauteing together. And you want to cook these for about 4 minutes until they really become fragrant, and that's when you're going to add in your garlic cloves, which is going to bring so much flavor. I added 4 garlic cloves, and then you just kind of stir them in there and get that cooking for about a minute until it's fragrant as well. Next, we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of flour. I just use all-purpose flour that I had, but you could probably use anything. This is just going to help to thicken up the soup a little bit. And next, we're going to start adding in our chicken broth, which is going to be a total of 5 cups. But you want to kind of add it a little bit at a time to really mix in that flour well. And then also, if there's any kind of flavor bits on the bottom of the pan, you really want to kind of scrape them off. Next, you're going to add a teaspoon each of dried basil and dried oregano, and then some salt and pepper to taste. You can add whatever you feel is needed for the soup to be tasty. And then we are going to move on to chopping up our potatoes. I put in 1 pound of potatoes chopped up. I'm just quartering these little mini potatoes, but if you have larger potatoes, I would just kind of cut them into 1-inch cubes. You want to bring that soup to a boil before putting the potatoes in so it's nice and hot. And once you get all of your potatoes in there, you're going to let it simmer, turn it down, let it simmer for about 40 minutes. And while that's going, I got our kale I just gave it a rough chop, nothing crazy. And then once 40 minutes passes by, or your potatoes are tender, you can easily eat them, go ahead and dump in that kale, and you just want to mix this around until the kale cooks down. Next, you're going to add in 1 cup of heavy cream, and then also 2 cups of shredded cheese. I did mozzarella. And then you're just going to stir all of that up, and it's going to get so creamy and delicious. And then lastly, we just have to add back in that sausage that we cooked a little bit earlier. Stir it all together. This soup is seriously so good, you guys. It is hearty, but it is creamy and it's salty, and it's just such a good comfort meal, but it's also filled with veggies and protein, and it's really going to be very filling.
Keep up, Daddy. Thank you. You're gonna put it back in, okay? Thank you. Alright, here it is. Oh.
Now, if you're anything like me and you like a little spice, I would definitely top it with some red pepper flakes. But otherwise, this soup can totally stand on its own. It is so good.
Okay guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know down in the comments below if you like seeing these kinds of videos where I share, you know, multiple meal ideas, because it's always really helpful for me to have your feedback. But that is all I have for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me over on Instagram. I'm just at Becca Bristow. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.